Authorities searching for barefoot woman who rang doorbell then disappeared.
How did the fuck did she like cut the bear's feet off and put them on her feet?
How did she get the bear to stand still long enough? I was cold when I arrived. Now I'm warming up.
I'm still cold.
You're wearing a lot of clothes.
I'm wearing half a clothes more than you.
Plus enclosed shoes. And socks.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome back to the Radial podcast. My name is Austin. I'm joined by Devin.
That's not a clean intro. We really need to restart.
Jeff.
Hello.
We're not restarting.
Hello.
I got it, man. It's cool.
Austin's
I
mad.
can't edit it now. So I have to include all of that. If
Just
you
don't
roll
edit
with
it, and then it'll save you a lot of time.
Yeah, I'm just
There you
going to
go.
upload it just the way that it comes.
Don't fuck up. I'm pointing at both of you and me. I don't have enough hands.
I mean, you can really just do this. You got thumbs on your hands. This does not play.
Heel clicks.
You should cut out all of this.
Foreshadowing.
Burn it down. Restart.
Nope. Not doing it.
Formula One's back.
Formula One is back.
Yes.
It was Spa.
Unfortunately.
What?
What?
You know,
Let's talk about Spa.
let's talk about things leading into Spa.
Yeah, let's do that.
So, do we have Formula One news to go over prior to?
Force
Quite
India.
a lot of it. Yeah. So going into this weekend, there was a lot of news stories with headlines like Force India might not race this weekend.
Yeah.
And they were right. They might not have.
Yeah, just put that down. There we go. Turns out Force India raced this weekend,
Yes.
so that was fine.
So-
But all this came about because Devin.
Yes, they went into administration. Lawrence Stroll, Lance's father, came in, saved the day with all of his money
And friends.
And his friends' money.
and his friends.
Yes.
And yeah, so like a lot of things had to be like agreed upon between the teams, like to get this like finished before this weekend, to make this actually happen. But they came out of this new name, Racing Point Force India. Vijay Mallya, obviously no longer the team principal. Their new team principal has a very hard name to pronounce. So Jeff,
Omar Snafnauer.
almost Otmar.
Otmar Snafnauer.
Matt Lauer.
There it is.
No, I said don't do that.
So Otmar was the chief operating officer, now is CEO and team principal of Force India. He's the guy that they already had on to do commentary whenever they radioed in on Sky Sports. Like, hey, let's get
Otmar.
Otmar over here.
Doesn't he have an American accent?
His name is spelled like it would be really hard to pronounce, but it's pretty simple. And like you would expect him to be hard to understand, sort of like who else did we talk to recently? On the pit wall.
Oh, we.
Yeah, that was some sarcasm.
Cyril?
Cyril, I think. Yeah, like him.
Yeah.
Super hard to understand. No, he just sounds like a normal dude.
He
just a
went
normal
to school in America.
American dude.
Yeah.
He's just like, hey
Yeah.
guys, let me tell you about Force India. We're really
Pink.
excited that we get to race this weekend. And you can tell from the enthusiasm in my voice. Our drivers are going to have a good battle, and we're going to see what sort of result that we can get. It's unfortunate that we lost our season points, but it's understandable.
But it's
and
also bullshit.
we don't
that-
really get that we don't get a reset on our power unit usage, but we're just happy to be racing again. I'm sure my enthusiasm is coming across, but
Hey, Devin, did you ever look into why that is? So, Racing Point Force India still has the same number of engine allotments as Force India. Like,
Yes. I think So I'm still not super clear on this, but it seems like there is a difference between team entry and constructor, and they're a new constructor, which Racing Point Force India, so they've lost all of the constructors' points that Sahara Force India had, but they are the same team entry, which is just Force India Mercedes. So that team entry still has the same power unit usage because it's the same team entry, even though they're the different constructor now.
This seems like a huge crock of bullshit to try to hold them down.
Yes, but at the same time, there was some not holding them down, which the rest of the teams really could have fucked Force India here. Namely, Force India is getting to keep the prize money allotment that they had before going into this.
Like, is this a guaranteed payout on top of whatever they may earn from their position at the end of the season? Okay.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, so like...
I think I saw Gene Haas throwing a bitch
Gene
about
Haas
this.
is upset about this,
did.
but I assume Gunter Steiner voted in favor.
Stab Chase Carey with this sword that I CNC'd.
Because, yeah, like what I read was that it was unanimously voted to let them keep the prize money. So I'm assuming like Gunter Steiner was there to vote in favor of that.
Prize money seems like a misnomer for this, considering it's a guarantee for participating in the season, whereas I would think the money that they earn from their ranking at the end of the season would be considered prize money.
I mean, like that is
this is the
most prize money, but it's all just called prize money. Like there's several like columns in like a spreadsheet. It's like, oh, this column's just there for being here this long. This column is here for this. This column's for being Ferrari. This column is for being Williams.
God damn it.
Mercedes and Red Bull both get special payments.
I think because they've won recently or something.
Yeah.
Or won a bunch.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of just bullshit in there.
Honestly, it sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me.
Sounds like money laundering.
Yeah. At the end of the day, Force India is not going to lose a bunch of money that they kind of rightfully should be getting. So they're only getting slightly fucked here with the points and the engine allotment. But at least they get the money.
I think that's majorly fucked. But, like,
yeah,
I mean, at least they get the money. But
I mean, this seems like maybe the least amount of compromise that you could have potentially seen them having to take for what the team's going through and being able to continue the season. Like, it could have gone way worse for them.
Well,
in a lot of ways.
Like,
but
all of this happened because Force India's assets were sold, not the company proper. Like,
yes,
that is why they had to.
That's why it's a new constructor.
Yes.
And a lot of that is because of some of the Indian creditors that were owed. Weren't able to get them to agree to the sale of the company in time or something along those lines, and that's why they were only able to buy the assets, which caused this whole sort of shitstorm.
Yeah.
But
so
it's mostly okay.
Yeah.
It's mostly fine.
At the end of the day, it's mostly fine.
Yeah.
Force India still exists.
And one interesting note with them still being Force India is that in one of these agreements that like all the teams had to like let this happen. It's a quote out of a story from racefans.com.
.net? Or is it .com?
I think it's .com. Maybe it's .net. It's probably .net. So racefans.net says, concerns Force India could become a B team of Mercedes led its rivals to insist that the team retain the name Force India within it. And this is understood to be out of a belief that Mercedes does not wish to be too closely associated with a brand which is seen as having been tainted by the actions of its former owners.
This seems like some witch hunting bullshit.
Yeah, so it seems like the other teams were like, all right, you got to keep Force India in there. That way Mercedes doesn't want to be too close to you because Vijay Mallya did some shit.
I was almost
it's just
thinking
going to change next year.
It's probably going to change next year, yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe they were something about making them keep the Force India in the name was part of why they had to keep the same power unit allotment so that Mercedes couldn't be like, great, we have essentially 6 free allocations to develop more stuff with, since we're kind of down on power this season in comparison.
Yeah, this seems like some witch hunting bullshit.
But it's Formula One, so don't be surprised.
Anything
Don't fucking say it. Don't say it.
This is my favorite quote from my good friend Jeff.
I stole it, so don't attribute it to me.
Formula One. Anything can happen and often does.
I fucking hate myself. What's the tensile strength of this microphone cable? Because I need to make another noose.
It's probably strong enough, but this room is not tall enough.
Yeah.
Fuck.
This room's only like 8 feet tall.
No, that's 9 probably. I think 9 is standard ceiling height.
They're 8-foot ceilings, bro.
But yeah. Yeah. Sorry about the noosing.
Hanging myself and doing pull-ups are real hard for me because I
Yep.
could just reach.
Yep, as it turns out, you have to duck when you go through doors.
I don't.
How tall are you?
5'18".
Ooh.
It makes me not sound as tall, so people are like,
No, it makes you sound like an asshole.
I know, that's the point. Because people are like, how tall are you? And I'm like 5'18", and they're like trying to do the math in their head, and I can fucking escape before the basketball questions start.
You don't think people can subtract 12 from 18?
Do you know how hard it is? Like,
They're both even. It's very easy.
I was trying to explain, like, someone was asking me, they asked me like 4 times throughout the day, like, how to convert military time to normal time. And I was like, what the fuck? It's still just, is the number more than 12? Then subtract 12.
That's hard.
Is 1230 more than 12?
Yeah.
So I subtract 12?
Fuck. It depends. It's not that hard. Stop poking holes.
You're making it sound hard.
Make you a noose too.
One other big piece of news this week, now that we are done with the Force India Minute, is Pierre Gasly has been signed to
Hell yeah,
Red Bull Racing.
Yep.
It's going to be awesome.
Did we? I can't remember. Did we say signs to McLaren
Yes,
on the
we
last
did.
episode? Okay. Yeah. So with signs to McLaren, you're like, all right, it's probably going to be Gasly to
Yeah, I mean,
Red
we
Bull.
already knew.
Yeah,
Like,
it makes sense.
But they confirmed it. So we know that now. And that's kind of all the news we have before going into Spa.
So just clarity. I had the bubonic plague on Sunday and most of Monday. So I've only watched the second half and the first 7 laps of this race.
that's all
That's
you needed.
all you
That's
need.
all I needed.
Did you watch any stuff Saturday for quali?
No,
It was actually
Yeah,
pretty
quali was
exciting.
good.
I was working.
Get a better immune system.
That's working.
I never get sick.
Seems like you
but
do.
when I do, I
Yeah.
get the plague.
You've been sick at least 2 times more than me lately.
Name the last one.
I don't know.
You can't.
I can't.
See? You're just making shit up.
That's true. That's what I do.
All right, jumping into the race or qualifying.
Qualifying.
Before qualifying, even Bottas and Hulkenberg both have massive grid penalties due to engine changes.
Oh, yeah,
and
that
are
is a good
starting
thing
at
to
the back of the grid.
Sucks to suck.
mention. Well, they're like, this track has got overtaking opportunities, and we want power from Monza. So
Yep. And
Q1, Bottas makes it through to Q2.
yep.
Q1 is dry, but rain is coming.
Yes.
Rain is closing in like at the end of Q1. Like I think as soon as Q1 ends and cars are pulling back into the pit lane, like it starts raining in the pit lane. Mm-hmm. Cars go out in Q2 on inters,
Nope.
except they all queued up.
Q2 was dry again.
Oh, okay. So
I think it rained a little bit between Q1 and Q2, but
Okay.
Q2 was dry.
Okay. Q2, what was it? Oh yeah, Bottas went out for who fucking knows why.
Yeah, I don't
in
know.
Q2 just to fuck Pierre Gasly, I guess.
Yeah. It was
Because
bizarre.
Pierre was holding down P10 in Q2, and then Bottas was like, "Well, I guess I'm going to go out now." And he did, and bumped him out.
Nice.
Which makes no sense because now also Bottas has to start on these tires. When he's starting from the back of the grid anyway, he would have had his choice of tires instead.
Maybe that's the tire they were choosing.
But now it's
But now it's used. Like it was so bizarre and just like, yeah, all it did was fuck Pierre
They were
Gasly.
just like, hey, fuck that guy.
Yeah, basically. And then it starts to rain, and then all the cars go out in Q3 on inters.
They start on slicks. Everyone's
queued up at the end of the pit lane on slicks, and they make it like halfway around the lap, and they're like, this was a fucking mistake.
except
For Force India, who's like, and they're talking to Otmar during this. He's like, yeah, we're going to take a gamble and see if we can set a lap right as fucking Perez is like Tokyo drifting around Eau Rouge.
Hell yeah.
it's like very, very nearly hit the wall.
Yeah, like
It was
the back end came out from under him at 185 miles an hour is what I saw something said. He
Mostly fine.
held it together surprisingly well, but it
See?
was just like, boy, you guys should not have. You should have gone into the pits when everybody else did.
Nope.
well.
But so the result of quali, Devin, you want to just run through the order?
Yeah. So just because of all this rain and mess, like cars, like
Are a little bit out of place.
yeah, they're a little bit out of place. They were trying to, they like had the car gassed up for a few laps. It's like, all right, just run like as many laps as you've got fuel, then back into the pits. But at the end of the session is when the laps were really coming together as the track started to dry a little bit.
Yeah, it stopped.
So
raining.
a lot of cars you would expect to be higher up kind of got fucked by just like running out of gas.
Namely Kimmy.
Namely, Kimi and both Red Bulls
Yeah.
got fucked by this. So the grid order is Hamilton, Vettel, Ocon, Perez.
Nice.
So very good qualifying from this brand new constructor.
Yeah.
Probably the best new constructor since Braun GP, I'm gonna guess. In their first race weekend.
I
their
don't think
debut?
That this yeah,
In their debut.
I don't think that. I get what you're trying to say, but I don't think it's the same.
How do you guys
Like,
feel about bullshit statistics? I know Jeff loves them.
Fucking hate bullshit statistics. We got a lot of them this weekend, didn't we?
Yeah, I don't remember any of them
don't
to
either.
bring them up. There's a bunch of just dumb bullshit.
Fucking Belgium makes a lot of chocolate. There you go.
That's not a statistic. That's a
No,
fact.
that's something that they said. They said they gave a number with it too. Now it's statistics.
Did you
and
know
math.
that 98%
No.
of Belgium's population lives in cities? That's a dumb statistic that they gave at the start of the race.
What the fuck?
True.
I mean,
would-
doesn't everyone live in a city by some
No.
awful definition?
No.
You live in a town or in the country.
Yeah. Some people live on rural routes
Yeah,
out in the sticks.
I don't like that.
So either
ghoul sound you made.
I made this comment to Devin after qualifying. I wasn't 100% clear if Force India strategied their way into good quality position or through sheer incompetence and bad strategy at the beginning of Q3 lucked out to where they were back on track at the
Hey, listen, man.
very end of the session when the track was
very
dry.
happy for that team, the people who work there, and the people back at the factory.
For sure.
Like,
But
I shared that video on our Facebook page of like how happy they were in the pits, and like,
Oh, yeah.
they totally deserve that. From like uncertain if you're gonna be working
yeah.
anymore, like 3 weeks ago, to now, like that's pretty
Qualifying
good.
second row lockout.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it felt a lot like we sort of lucked into this spot.
Yeah,
Had we gone out on inners when everybody else did, we might have not made these laps when we did.
yep. And so after the two Force Indias was Grosjean, and then Raikkonen, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Magnussen, and after Bottas gets kicked out because of his grid penalty, Gasly rounding out the P10 or top 10. So that's how we start this race. And here again, Hulkenberg also had a grid penalty and is at the back of this grid. So
Is this important to hear in a minute?
it sure is, Jeff.
All right.
Do you want to tell me about the start of this race?
This race starts Several cars begin to slow down and turn right into turn 1. And
As you do.
Hulkenberg just decides that he's going to just ram Alonso
He's gonna
really hard.
Online video game his way through the corner.
Yes. Hulkenberg was experiencing some high ping time.
Yeah. So
Basically-
really high latency.
Yeah. Hulkenberg locks up trying to turn into turn 1, hits Alonso in a very similar, if not more rough manner to when Daniel hit Max in Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
It's a very kind of similar, like just straight into the back of him. It somehow manages to pick Alonso's car up, throws it on top of Charles Leclerc. In the process, just karate chopping Daniel Ricciardo's rear wing off.
Yeah. So like Alonso's front wing hits the top of Ricardo's back wing
Just
as he's
chops
like
it off.
pirouetting on top of Charles Leclerc.
Breaks Alonso's suspension on top of Charles Leclerc's halo. And then Daniel Ricciardo no longer has rear downforce and goes into Kimi Räikkönen's rear right and breaks his... I don't know if he breaks his wing, but at least punctures the tire, which results in the rear wing becoming broken.
Yeah.
And Bottas also ran into the back of somebody... Sorokin during this as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a huge mess.
That's a colossal fuck up.
It really is. And the commentators were like, oh, I wonder if he had like a brake-by-wire failure. And I'm like, this seems like an odd time for that to have happened because it's been working totally fine the rest of the time and on the parade lap just before this. So
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Hulkenberg came out and was just like, yeah, this was on me. Oh, whoops.
My bad.
So
So yeah, I don't think there was any failure. I think he just tried to brake too late and it did not work.
I'm going to go ahead and say whenever we first were finding out about the halo and the other safety components that they were talking about, I was like, oh man, I don't really see the halo. It's got a lot of openings. Like it seems like it's not going to offer the protection like the aero screen would because it totally prevents things from flying into the driver's face.
It'll totally
Turns
protect
out-
you from a car coming over the top of your car.
Turns out I had not taken into consideration a car falling out of the sky onto your head. And it seems like it works okay for that.
Yeah.
As it turns out. I don't know if that's something that they tested while they were doing their research and development.
One of the useless facts that they told us about during the race was that the elevation gain from the bottom to the top of Eau Rouge and whatever the second corner
Radial.
Radial.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Radion is up there. It's like, oh, if all 20 cars were stacked on top of each other, it would be 3 meters taller than that. And I was like, well, Alonso and Leclerc tried.
Wow, okay. That's
They
a
stacked
useless
those cars.
statistic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. But, yeah.
So this incident happens. The front of the pack gets away just fine because this was like a ways back.
Yeah.
Brendan Hartley had a great view of this, I think, is who it was. You could just kind of see everything out of like the periphery of his camera
What do you
pod.
do if you're him? Do you just go, what the fuck?
For sure. Like, I'm amazed that, like, I would like to go back and try to watch some of the team footage from each of the cars kind of that had perspective on that, just to hear the drivers be like, what the fuck was that? There's cars on cars. The pack gets away, and down the Kimmel Straight, Vettel is able to make a move on Hamilton because he's in his slipstream, and then both Force Indias are pulling around either side of them as well.
Yeah, they're
for this
four wide.
Four wide.
It's awesome.
Awesome looking thing. Ocon got fucked on it a little bit because he ended up on the inside of the line and had to back off so as not to hit anybody else. So the order after the Kimmel Straight ends up being Vettel, Hamilton, Perez, and then Ocon. And then immediately after that action, a safety car comes out and lasts for a couple of laps.
Yep. During this time, Ricardo, who does not have his rear wing, comes into the pits.
Yep.
And they replace his rear wing, which was awesome. And I kind of just expected them to retire. But
Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard his
they
race
put the
engineer
car
come
into
over
the
and-
garage.
I heard his race engineer come over and say, "Hey, Daniel, just sit tight. Like your car's kind of fucked, but like
Yeah.
we're trying to fix it." Like,
yeah, the radio, like, really recommend F1's like best team radio clip that's on YouTube. from this weekend. Because, yeah, the message is literally like, hey, man, hang tight. It's fucked, but we're going to try and fix it. Similarly, Kimi had that puncture. He comes in, and they fuck with his rear wing some, but they seem to just send him back out. Kimi's complaining that like his DRS is just staying open, and when he comes into the pits, they're just like flapping it around with their hand.
That
it's
seems like not what you want.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, it's just on even when I'm not hitting the button, which is very bad.
That seems fine.
It seems like this track is maybe the most fine for it because all of the teams have almost no rear wing angle in their car.
Yeah.
It was so during the grid walk coming up to it.
Christian Horner's
like, yeah, I don't think Aston Martin's going to be too happy with it because there's very little logo, and then it's just like they zoom right in on the Aston Martin logo. I'm like,
They should be happy now.
they should be happy.
They got the
now.
airtime they needed.
Yeah, good job, Christian.
So yeah, safety car comes out. A lot of cars come in and pit. Sainz started this race on medium tires. He's the only one to have done so.
Yep.
And Kimi puts on medium tires when he comes in for that pit stop, hoping to maybe just run the rest of the race on this set of tires. But he retires on lap 9, so it ends up not mattering because his wing is still fucked.
Yeah. So everybody that's out at that point is Alonso, Leclerc, Hulkenberg, and Kimi, and
Yes.
Daniel is 2 laps. Ricardo's 2 laps down.
Yes.
Yes.
And trying his damnedest to make up places.
He's kind of following Bottas
Yeah.
for the most part, but Bottas is getting further and further away from him. Granted, he's not racing with him because he's 2 laps down from Bottas, but he's roughly gaining places at the same rate.
Yeah. So after the safety car, on the restart, Hamilton goes after Vettel straight away and kind of fucks it up, like locks up. And then from then, he's not really close ever again to get another shot. Really seemed like Ferrari was the car to have this weekend.
Yeah. Unless you're Kimi.
Unless you're Kimi, but not much you can do there. God, just so many cars just got ruined by Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
Like
The
it,
guy's an asshole.
yeah. So I don't have a ton to say about this race, really.
Yeah.
It was like fair. Like the start was fucking crazy. The restart was pretty interesting, and then the rest of the race was watch Bottas and Ricardo cut their way through this field
And
until
Max also cut his way up.
I think Max was in P5 by the safety car restart.
Right, but watch Max work his way up to P3.
Yeah.
Max passed both the Force Indias.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's essentially watch the inevitable things that you know that are going to happen.
Yeah.
Max
Yeah.
will get up to P3 because there's no Ferraris or Mercedes in 3 or 4. And then watch Bottas climb his way all the way up to P4, right?
Yep.
And then Daniel was working on it, but then they retired his car. I don't know why.
I think
They were speculating that if they would retire so that they could get a free gearbox replacement because they didn't finish the race. But I guess he's got penalties for this upcoming weekend.
he does have penalties for Monza anyway for engine replacement. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess maybe they were trying to save something for penalties, like maybe get less wear on the car once they got to a point that they realized like, oh, we're not going to be able to make it back up into the points.
I feel like 2 laps down is kind of hard to make it back up to the points regardless.
I mean, a lot of
I
times.
guess you've only got 4 cars to get around.
Yeah, I mean,
if you had some more safety cars, like
Yeah.
they'll put you back on the lead lap, right?
Yep.
Or you at least get you unlapped by a 1 at the minimum.
So, it was worth a shot.
yeah, like he lapped most of the was just 1 lap down from like the back half of the field.
Yeah.
But it's just he didn't have enough time to lap them all again or unlap himself from them again. So yeah, they retired him, and then it was really just a procession to the end. Nobody ever caught up. At one point, the commentators had like a really dumb idea of just like, oh, maybe Hamilton will come in and get on the super soft tires because he's got a big enough gap to Max
he
to
was
do
like
it.
25 seconds in front of Max. And they're like, oh yeah, what if Hamilton takes his 5-second delta to Vettel, comes in and puts new tires on, and then tries to go full attack on Vettel? And Devin and I are just saying, like,
There's only like 8 laps.
there's
left.
8 laps left. Like, why the fuck would he do that?
He can close like 20 seconds a lap, man. It's fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
It was like the most bizarre. Like, I don't know.
We're
we
just going
need
to open the safety barrier, and he's just going to shortcut the track every lap.
Yeah,
It just seemed like they were maybe just trying to like fill airtime. Like,
Yeah.
we got to comment on something.
Yep.
So yeah, cars from this point finished in the order that you'd expect. Vettel P1, Lewis P2, then Max, Bottas, Perez, Ocon, Grosjean, Magnussen, Gasly, and Marcus Ericsson rounding out the top 10. So, good job, Pierre Gasly, getting a couple more points.
Indeed.
And with a quarter of the field gone, Marcus Ericsson also got into the points.
Didn't what was it? Force India in this single race has managed to score more points than a handful, like at least one, maybe 2 teams in their entire season thus far. Is that correct? What position is
I don't know, actually. The
Racing Point Force
Constructors' Championship on Formula One's website's not accurate because it says Force India has 0 points.
Huh.
That's weird.
That is weird.
strange.
Conspiracy.
I mean, I can bust out the tin foil. We can make some boat hats.
Bottas?
There were some armadillos in the backyard. We could go make armadillo hats.
No.
But if everyone else here's points are correct, Force India is in P. What the hell is wrong with this chart?
Oh, wait.
This is fucked up because
4, 5, 6,
Williams
7,
is in 10th and
10.
Force
Oh.
India is in 11th.
No, there's a 9th. They have 18 points. It's Racing Point right there.
It's definitely not on the page on the.
Oh, wow. I'm just using the F1 app. Yes, Williams only has 4 points for the season. Racing Point Force India has 18 points, so they are only 1 point behind Sauber in 8th place.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, just really bizarre on the just F1 website on a
That They
computer.
managed to fuck that up.
Who the fuck uses a computer?
You. It's right in your pocket.
No, like everybody uses their phone.
No.
Yeah.
Computers.
Nobody uses computers.
Computers.
You're using one right now.
Yeah, but for this specific task, but just to like know things, nah, bro. Everybody uses their phone.
It's true.
That's why.
So yeah, this result kind of stretched out the lead in the Constructors' Championship since Kimi retired. So I think Mercedes came out a net positive here with a 2nd and 4th versus a 1st. Is that a positive or is that a wash?
Force India would be in 5th place right now
Yeah,
had they
it's
not
positive.
been
Yeah, they got hosed.
not lost their points.
Yep. So yes. So the Constructors' Championship or Mercedes has stretched it out a little bit and is 15 points ahead of Ferrari. So very close still in the Constructors. And in the Drivers' Championship, Lewis is, what is that, 17 points? Yes, 17 points ahead of Vettel now.
Yep.
From 24.
Yep.
So I feel like Monza, Ferrari definitely want to do very well. I believe Ferrari won last year.
Nope. Ferrari has never won at Monza in the V6 era.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet they win.
The last memory of Monza I have is Nico Rosberg singing Seven Nation Army very, very badly when he won.
I mean, he's not doing any worse than I would have. So I'm not going to fault him for it.
I disagree. It would be hard to do worse than what he did. It was...
Hey, you guys remember that conversation about like being kind of try hard?
Yeah,
Like Nico Rosberg seems like he's kind of try hard.
for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's also like a really weird song to sing in Italy.
I don't have the answers, bro.
I don't know.
Nico Rosberg's a weird dude.
I don't know what Seven Nation Army is about. I haven't really thought about the lyrics.
Oh wait, yeah, I was thinking it was Ramstein. It is definitely not.
So that's Spa. And speaking of Monza, as we briefly just did, Monza. It's this coming weekend. It's in like 3 days for you.
Neat.
So
It's in like 4 days for us.
Yeah, we're recording late because I had the plague.
Yep. So as we already mentioned, Ricciardo's going to start from the back at Monza because Renault has a new, more powerful power unit. And only Ricciardo is getting it because it's also less reliable. So Renault and McLaren don't want it. Renault doesn't want Renault's new unit because it's not reliable.
I mean,
That's really saying something about Renault.
Yep.
About how unreliable this thing might be.
they've been better this year, I think. I don't have any facts to back that up, but neither do you.
I don't either, but I think
My-
it's been about the same.
Yeah. My gut tells me that it's been... Last year it was more second half of the season, and this year feels like it's been more first half of the season.
I feel like it was all Max at the first half and all Ricciardo at
yes.
the second half. So it felt like a lot for both of them. Where here, I feel like we're flip-flopping who is getting the failures.
Yes.
So it feels like less, but I bet it's about the same.
We'll see. I mean, maybe it's like not like a full version. Maybe it's like a half version. They're still working on it, man.
This is the new full update. This is the
But
This is the 2021 motor.
they're still working on it.
this
man.
is their C-spec motor. This is their third big update.
Well, everybody knows that it's bad, and so
Version 3.0.0.
Anyway, well, they're
you
saying
always wait for that launch day patch. You know what I'm saying?
Renault's
I'm going to launch day patch this piston right out of this block.
Renault's kind of talking it up real big, and that they say it's going to be that upgrade's going to be worth 0.3 a lap at Monza.
It makes 1,400 horsepower for 8 laps.
So
I mean, maybe the motor only lasts.
It's
one
great for
race,
qualifying.
but like it's a really good motor.
yeah,
This is our
For
Q3
one
motor.
race.
You can't use it for the rest of qualifying.
but the race after Monza is Singapore, and Red Bull feels like they'll do really well at Singapore, so they want Ricciardo to take the penalty now instead of at Singapore.
Singapore is a track where if you qualify well, you're going to do well.
Unless you run into your teammate and like squash a competitor in between the two of you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think Ferrari fans think that race ever happened. I think it's a running joke is, oh, I'm really glad Singapore's back on the calendar this year.
Yeah.
Vettel and Kimi ran into each other and sandwiched Max and then also hit Alonso.
Yeah, I think Alonso somehow.
he came out
How
of it
was he
okay.
even near that? I don't remember. How did Alonso get
I think
near
he
that?
went around the outside of it, and then they just kind of kept sliding into him.
Solid. So yeah, last year at Monza, Ricciardo started 16th and finished P4. I don't remember.
pretty good.
I don't remember how that happened, but Ricciardo is
Because he likes them vulnerable.
at least
That's
out
when,
here.
what race that happened in.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Fucked up.
So
He said it.
Ricciardo's out here saying that he is confident he can do well, even starting at the back.
I hope so. He's had some bad.
So
Well, to follow to follow this insane nonsensical logic, Ricardo retired and then finished P6, and then retired and then finished like P4 or P5. So this time he's going to retire and finish like P4, right? I think that's how that is supposed to check out.
probably.
The last couple of results.
Maybe he'll win.
No, that's too many positions up.
That'd be fucking sick if Ricciardo won this race.
I'd be okay with it.
I would be okay with it too.
So yeah, I think I saw Max is also taking some new engine parts, but maybe not the full upgrade, and he's not taking a penalty because he had some room to spare on his parts allotment. I don't know. Anyway, Monza this weekend.
He should get third according to that logic.
Cool. 8 a.m. Central Time qualifying, 8:10 Central Time for the race
That's pretty reasonable.
this weekend. Yes,
That's
same as
like-
it's been the last like 5 races.
Yeah, it's pretty reasonable.
It's like 2 p.m. UTC,
No idea. What is UTC?
Universal standard time.
What?
I think it's +6.
Does the T stand for standard?
Yeah,
What?
Can I get these race times and swatch internet time?
I'm sure you can.
How many beats? Anyway, so that's kind of it for F1 for this week. A lot of news this week with all that Force India mess. Really exciting first 2 minutes of this race. And
Kind of a predictable next hour and a half.
yeah, I'm very excited for Monza, especially with Ricciardo starting at the back.
Do we have any chance of rain in
Because
Monza?
Ricciardo is,
don't.
it's good to watch him pass people.
It is.
I like to see Ricciardo
Do
pass those
Ricardo?
guys. Yeah. Ricciardo, he's good.
Yeah. Turns out he's pretty good.
Yeah. There was another race this weekend that I haven't had the time yet to watch.
There were multiple other races this week.
There's only one that matters.
Hard disagree. Go ahead.
MotoGP didn't happen this weekend. It got canceled. And like
What?
people are upset about it.
Why?
It was raining too hard at Silverstone, I think.
Yeah, sometimes it rains over there.
And yeah, they canceled the race and people are pissed off about it. They're like, oh, these drivers are all like, I gotta be safe.
Please, riders.
You drive motorcycles.
Do you?
No, you ride motorcycles.
Yeah, but calling them riders seems weird too. There's a
Rider meet horse.
There's a chance of rain on Friday in Monza, but and early Saturday morning. But it looks like it'll be done by quality
Lame.
time, and it will be dry for race day. But
Bummer.
Okay.
that there's your forecast.
Yeah,
for
as it
Monza.
turns out, riding motorcycles in the rain, it's kind of hard.
Yeah. People are upset about it, I think. I don't know. I didn't really look into this that much at all. But the one race that matters is the Suzuka 10 Hours. I didn't watch it. But I'm going to at some point.
We heard
So
the
Are you gonna
English
watch all
coverage
10 hours
was
of it?
bad.
I am probably going to watch most of it.
Is Nismo TV covering it?
No, which is the bad part. Because what I have seen of the Suzuka 10 Hours is one Jan Martinborough talking a gang of shit on the English commentators for this race about how boring it was and how much it sucked.
Wait, did Yan race in this, right?
No, he didn't.
Oh.
No,
okay.
this is like GT3 and like GT300 class cars.
Oh, okay.
So Ian was just watching this race and not participating, and he did not care for these commentators.
Neat.
Here is a fun tweet from Jan Martinborough. Give me a mic and I'll do a better job than this. 5-minute gaps of radio silence followed by coming to you live from Suzuka 10 Hours and a dramatized accent. He's done this like 8 times in 40 minutes.
Sounds pretty good.
So the commentary seems awful.
I'm glad you're going to subject yourself to that.
And I'm
'cause
going to subject
Yeah, I'm
myself
not
to
gonna
that.
do it.
Yeah, I think I know who wins that race, and I think I saw who won that race, but I'm still excited to see it happen.
It's the Gundam car.
Hell yeah.
It seems to be the Gundam car, and I think Miku podiumed,
Hell yeah.
which is awesome.
Can I get the Gundam.car?
You might be able to get Gundam.car.
Is .car a valid extension?
Probably. Let's find out.
Edit this shit out.
So yeah, I'll probably have just like a brief couple of things to say about that next podcast.
Depending on
But-
how exciting Monza is, we might not have time to get to
Yeah.
it, bro.
Oh, you could get Gundam.car for $2,500.
Shit.
Fuck.
Someone buy that for us so that
People
nobody
have
can
to
visit
buy
it.
more T-shirts for us to be able to afford that shit.
No, they just don't buy t-shirts. Buy that.
No, I don't want people
Actually buy t-shirts.
Yeah, buy T-shirts, then we can buy that.
We won't buy that.
No, we won't buy that.
That is not a good use of our
I don't. If
$2,500.
somebody gave me,
Turns out there's not a good use of $2,500
if
that
somebody
we're
gave
going
me
to earn through this.
$250 million, I wouldn't spend $2,500.
You're fucking insane.
I wouldn't do it.
You know how small of a percentage that is on that?
I know, but like that's still irresponsible.
Not if you have $250 million. Nothing's irresponsible unless you buy a $200 million house.
See?
That's irresponsible.
Yeah, just because property taxes would be a
Yeah.
lot.
Gundam.love would only cost me $33.
No.
Approved.
No.
I don't have $33.
Oh.
That's because these people aren't buying T-shirts. Where can they buy T-shirts at?
Store.hatsunemiku.racing.
Was that a valid URL?
Yep.
What about shop.hatsunemiku.racing?
That one is too.
What about shop.radiopodcast.com?
That one works
What about
too.
store.radiopodcast.com?
That one works too.
Did any of the other ones work?
They do not. No,
I didn't think so.
You've never taught us the ways.
I did not.
I can't make the URLs that I've purchased do that. I don't know how.
I bet you could do that, but I do believe you that you don't know how. Also, check us out at Radial Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
We don't do anything.
I occasionally tweet. I believe the most recent tweet that wasn't just, hey, listen to the podcast, was me just saying, Santino Ferrucci, retire, bitch.
Ooh.
Did you add him?
His personal
No,
Twitter?
I did not at him. I just said it.
Oh.
Okay.
It's a bitch move.
That is kind of,
It's a bitch move to tag people and stuff like that. That is not the kind of thing you would tag somebody in. That would be the bitch move.
Turns out we have not gotten any notifications since the last time that I posted on Instagram, so great job.
fantastic. I post things on Facebook.
I fucking hate Facebook.
I do too, but I still share the things on the Facebook. That's where we get the most fan interaction.
I've actually been doing some good retweets over on the Twitter account also.
Nobody has Twitter but you.
Twitter's the best of the
Twitter
services.
is dead.
No.
It's dying.
Facebook, Facebook might as well be dead because it's just like old people.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't for the brand,
Hey, what about MySpace?
I mean, Tom's not even there.
I know, but like, could we make one?
Yeah.
Or is that like a place for
Like
music
make
now?
a new MySpace?
Yeah, like but for the radio podcast.
No, like a social media platform?
Yeah, let's
Oh,
call
like,
it
we could do
LO.
that. No, we could call it like Drive Tribe.
We could
Drive Tribe's such a bad
sue.
name.
It is a bad name.
It's fucking terrible.
We could call it
Squad.
Radial.
Listen, our podcast
Lube.
name doesn't even make sense.
Did you just say Radial Lube?
Yeah, the stuff that they put on the glue that they put on the wheel rims to mount the tires.
Don't
Oh,
tell me
no.
about your rim lube.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably need to make a Mastodon account. We need an LO
sorry.
account. We need an
Google Plus
Dinosaurs are dead.
Mastodon's not a dinosaur.
account? It's not.
Fuck.
We need a
Jurassic
Peach
Park, god damn it.
account. What's another?
Wait, what'd you say?
Peach. Did I already say LO? You said Google Plus.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of more bad social media networks.
Do we have a Drive Tribe?
No, I guess we could make one, but I'd rather not.
It is a social network.
LinkedIn.
That's a network for professionals. Please.
It's like
Yes.
a big elephant with tusks.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's not what I thought a mastodon was at all. I thought it was
dude.
an avian dinosaur.
No.
You're thinking of a pterodon.
It's got a similar suffix.
No.
Dawn.
Dawn.
Dawn the pterodactyl.
Nope.
Dawn of pterodactyls. What the hell are we talking about?
I don't know. We're trying to shut this podcast down.
We are.
Dinosaurs and their feathers.
Hatsunemiku.racing.
Radiopodcast.com. Join the Radio Podcast crew on Facebook if you want to interact with us.
Yes, please.
Austin will let us know.
Yeah.
I've been interacting some lately.
You have.
Jeff hates Facebook.
I also hate
I
Facebook.
keep bouncing off of it, and then like
I'm basically there, dude.
occasionally, like I'll see something, and I'll be like, "Huh, that person seems wrong," and I'm like, "I'm not gonna correct them.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't want to engage in this."
Go to your browser, you type facebook.com, then you click the bell, and then you just click the things that you're notified
Smash
about.
that bell if you want to. Fuck me, god damn it.
Wait, what?
What?
Okay,
Nobody's
No.
smashing that bell.
I'm gonna cut a man down like that. Shut this down before I embarrass myself further.
Okay.
We got a YouTube page. You could smash that like button
Yeah,
and
you could.
subscribe.
And you could give us a rating and review on iTunes.
Yep.
Did we get any?
I haven't looked. I probably should. I keep asking for them.
Yeah, and we said that we'd read them. How do I find that?
You don't, because we're not doing it this episode.
I know, I'm just looking.
But we're going to do it next episode. Best new review gets read.
Yes.
And probably all the other ones.
All of them. As long as they're positive.
Yeah, as long as they're positive. They
But
gotta be
really-
5-star only.
Any review is good review. That's what they always say. Right?
I've never heard that before.
Any press is good press.
All right, we'll see you guys
I
next
thought
week.
press and review were
We'll
the same
see you
thing.
guys next week.
Bye.
Matt Lauer.
Otmar Snafnauer.
You guys ever just like wrap a battery in aluminum foil and then go, ow, when it burns your hand?
No.
You guys ever just hold ice and salt in your hand until you get a chemical burn?
No.
You guys ever just like wash car parts in brake parts cleaner without any sort of protection on your hands and then wonder why your hands hurt?
You guys ever just melt down lead BBs and just drop the molten lead down your back until it makes a new BB? Saw a movie once.